All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of hashtag CB99 Talks. This is episode 69. Of course, I'm Combo Breaker 99. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't subscribed yet to hashtag CB99 Talks, just go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, subscribe to the podcast there, or you can just go to my YouTube channel, Combo Breaker 99, and also go to CB99Talks.com, and you can hear the show there as well. Just go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Like I always tell y'all keep subscribing. Y'all keep hitting the thumbs up on my videos. Hey, I'm gonna keep doing these shows, man. But yeah, man, back with another episode once again. Now, this past weekend didn't have too much going on as far as fights. It was a pretty slow week. We just had a lot of shocking news and different things going on behind the scenes, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about here. It's kind of part of the theme of today's podcast, as well as we had some more sideshow boxing exhibitions take place. So that's going to be a part of the show as well. And the theme, I guess, that we're going to be kind of discussing in this episode is money in the combat sports world. So I guess we can ask ourselves, I've been asking myself this about, what's going on today. And, y'all can kind of, make y'all's own assessment as well. The question is, are fighters making the money, or is the money making the fighters? That's the question. That's the question that kind of falls into today's topics. So yeah, I just want to go back and talk about last week's sideshow boxing exhibition, heartbreaking performance. Evander Holyfield getting stopped by Victor Belfort. I just want to kind of liken that to the theme of money in the combat sports world and how these fighters continue to fight. Is it for the love of the sport, or is it for money? Is it for that need that they need money? So that's kind of a big one. It's a big one that's been going on even before the age of podcasts. So this is something I've been seeing in a lot of fighters growing up. A lot of my favorite fighters growing up, when I was a kid. So kind of want to talk about that, as a main theme today, now that I can do a podcast. So I want to talk about that. And of course, the shocking news. Well, it ain't shocking news to me, because I already knew about this 2 months ago, but I'm not subscribed to it, y'all. I'm not subscribed to it. I want to talk about Jessica Andrade on OnlyFans, and I'm not picking on her or bashing her being on OnlyFans. I just kind of want to talk about it and why I kind of feel like she chose that route. Why I kind of think that she chose that route of going to OnlyFans, at this point of her career, because like I said, I was talking to somebody about this, behind the scenes, fighters, fighters are fighters, but at the same time, when you get to a certain level, you got to know what you're doing with your money. You got to know how to make moves. You got to know how to make something out of yourself. So many fighters you hear say, "Oh, I just like to fight. I'm all about the fight. I don't care. I just want to fight." It's not about that. I mean, if you really want to fight and you found love for it, you have to turn it into a career. And that's what it is. That's what a career is. A career is doing something that you're good at or doing something that you really love. And if that's what you love, you have to turn it into something that's going to make money for you instead of letting money make you, and money make you to do things that you don't need to be doing at a certain age. You know what I mean? Like, you got fighters on this side who know how to make a brand for themselves and make a name for themselves and go into other endeavors and take that to another level, so they won't be fighting forever. They already have that mind state to say, okay, I know what I'm going to do, and I know how I'm going to make money off of this thing I love, but I know that this thing I love in fighting, I can't do forever, so I got to make it work for me even after I'm done. You got those fighters, but then you got this large group of fighters that come into the game, make it to a high level, big level, big checks, big platforms, big crowds, big accomplishments, big resume, everything big, everything big except their bank account. And I'm not being funny. Everything big, but small bank account, small bank account. And that's why I kind of want to just talk about these topics here, because, it seems like, fighters are staying in the game, but they're having to go to other endeavors and make money there to really, really make ends meet. And like I said, nothing wrong with Jessica Andrade doing OnlyFans, but is she doing it for the love of it, or is she doing it because it's paying more than the UFC? But let's backtrack. I also want to talk about Irene Aldana as well. Not really money thing, but I just want to talk about what she should do as far as, waiting, while GDR is out, or, get another fight, kind of talk about that. If I have more time, we'll also throw in some WMMA topics as well. But yeah, let's backtrack. So last Saturday, like I said, not much going on. Not much going on in the fight game. More of these sideshow fights, and I get tired of them. You know, my thoughts. Y'all know my thoughts on exhibition fights right now in boxing. I have no problem, but it really gets to the point where, you know, it's kind of frustrating seeing these matches take over boxing, you know, especially whenever you have great fighters out there or fighters destined for greatness, but they just can't make matches like these guys out here are. So, you know, I'm not blaming, I'm not blaming these guys like Jake Paul and so on. I'm just tired of seeing these type of things run boxing, you know? And now seeing Evander Holyfield jump into this mix, seeing all this money being made and thinking he can get some of it too just because he was a boxer, you know, back in the day. And I say it like that. I mean, he's still tied to the world of boxing. I say back in the day because that's when he was at his best. But now seeing all this money and thinking that he still has those tools, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing, you know, like after yeah, because I didn't plan on watching it, but you know, after hearing about it, you know, some people told me about it. I was like, oh wow, I had to pull up the clip for myself, you know, and it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see one of my favorite fighters, Evander, get stopped by Victor Belfort, you know, former MMA fighter. You know, he's 44, but he also has a background in boxing. You know, he has a boxing background, and you know, Evander Holyfield is 58. So a guy 14 years younger, you know, he's going to be able to do something to Evander Holyfield. And, you know, Holyfield's never looked like Evander Holyfield since, you know, early 2000s, you know, and it was heartbreaking to see. It was just heartbreaking to see. That was my reaction. You know, it was an 8-round exhibition. Of course, it didn't go 8, didn't even go 1 round. And after seeing Holyfield just get overwhelmed and kind of get shocked like that, it was like, man, at this point, I'm not even shocked. I'm not shocked. I was more so disappointed in the choice of the commissions and the doctors that cleared him to fight. You know, because I can't keep saying this time and time again. I already have my feelings about the situation. You know, Evander needs to hang it up. He needs to hang it up. You know, but if you give the guy an opportunity, he's going to take it because that's what he likes to do. So it's up to the commissions and the doctors to say no. So I kind of blame them in this situation. You know, I mean, you know, just because money's involved in it, you know, they hear Triller's making mad money. It's like everybody wants to get involved. They say, oh, forget his health. You know, hey, we can make big checks, you know. So I wasn't cool with that. You know, that's where I was disappointed because I remember back in like 2005, I think it was after his fight with Larry, and you know, he lost that fight by decision. I think it was that fight. And after that, like I remember the commission revoked his boxing license to fight in Vegas and some other places. You know, so I was like, okay, that's good, you know, because he's kind of a danger to himself now. You know, he's not the same fighter he used to be. I remember that James Toney fight. Wow. But anyways, you know, I thought that was going to be, you know, the beginning of the end. You know, he maybe dabble in something else, you know, become a trainer, become a promoter, or so on. But he would stay away from, you know, actually getting in the ring. And lo and behold, you know, they start this thing up again with exhibition. And like I said, exhibition's making so much money. Somebody like Evander Holyfield, who didn't make the best choices with his money, he feels the need to get back in there. So, you know, they let him slide in. They let him slide in. And, you know, I think that's just one of those things where everybody wanted to get a piece of the money. And for Evander Holyfield, you know, if he was in a better situation, he wouldn't need to be here because now he's letting the money make him, you know, which is sad. You know, a guy like him who, again, like I said, big resume, big lights, big accomplishments, having to go in here and making his meat off of something he should be promoter. He should be promoter for now, right? These exhibitions, he should be promoting. That's it. But he's having to get in there and put his life on the line, even in an exhibition match, because Victor Belfort, you know, he was trying to go in there and take Holyfield's head off. I was like, he actually think he's accomplishing something by stopping Holyfield like this, right? So it's a dangerous game, man, when you let the money make you like this. And I think Evander Holyfield, he's in a place right now where, you know, he still needs money. And he's at a place where it's not just about the love of the sport or the love of the money. It's the money or making the money. It's about the money making him right now. The money's making him have to do things he doesn't need to be doing anymore. That's just from me from the outside looking in and someone who's followed his career, you know. And my thoughts on, you know, even leading up to the fight, I was scared. I was scared for him, man, because I seen like the training videos people were posting, like, the media workout, he was really looking like he was moving in slow motion. And I'm not being funny. Like, I thought the video was slowed down, but then I played it at regular pace, and I was like, wow. I was like, usually, of course, these guys are doing other things before they start hitting the pads, but you would think that you would want to make yourself look entertaining or dazzling leading up to this fight, especially for the mid work for the cameras. But he looked like he was moving in slow motion, so I was really starting to be fearful for Holyfield in this one. But you know, uh, one thing I will say though, there was some inspiring things that came from it. And I wish it would have just stopped here. Was the fact that Holyfield, he did look good. Like physically, he looks good. For a 58-year-old, face, body, physique, everything looks good. That's the motivating part. It does give you motivation. Like even going back to when he first started training and Mike Tyson started training for the Roy Jones exhibition, I was motivated by these guys to get in shape and just to get up and get it. Get up and get something. Just to get up, get out and get something. Y'all know the song. Um, I was motivated by that just to see these older heads showing the younger heads that, look, we ain't afraid to fight. But that's kind of where it stopped for me, because staying in shape, at a certain age, that's a necessity. Getting up and just trying to be motivated now, the older you get, that's something we need to see sometimes. And it was kind of a beautiful thing to see that. But the fighting part, man, that's where I feel like I'm not at in my life. And I know darn well, Evander Holyfield, that's not where he needs to be. You know, Seeing a guy like him, I think he should just be training, doing other things like being a fitness trainer, just trying to do some things that are motivation for people, up in age. Because I know, like I said, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not trying to waste my years getting beat up, and he's at a point where he shouldn't be going in there wasting his life away fighting and training and to this back breaking training and sparring, any of that. You know what I mean? He should just be working out to stay active and stay alive. And I think that's what he should be trying to push as far as his brand now. He should be making his brand and saying, look, this is how I stay in shape. This is how y'all need to stay in shape. Let me get that money from y'all, and I'll train y'all and show y'all something. I'll show y'all the way. But it's like I said, he's letting the money make him. The money's telling you, hey, we got to get back in there. You better get back in there now, or we're going to be broke, or we're going to be homeless, or whatever. We're going bankrupt. That's what it just seems like right now. And that's a sad thing. Because like I said, these athletes in the positions they're in, some of them aren't really guided into good. They're not really guided into what to do with their money. They get the checks, but as fast as they're given to them, they're taken away because nobody's showing them how to make moves with the money and how to make the money make it grow. How to make money make itself. And that's something I'm still working towards. In some situations, I want to be at a point where I can chill. you know. So when I see guys like this who have the connections and have the opportunities, to be around, these higher powers and um in the sport, it kind of disappoints me that they throw it all away like that. So I'm wishing the best for Holyfield from here. I just didn't like the way Victor Belfort actually acted. Like he thought he accomplished something, by beating Evander Holyfield, at 58 years old. But that's the fight game. You never know what anybody's intentions are, as far as behind the scene or in the ring. So I'm wishing him the best, man. I just hope he doesn't go this route anymore. I don't care if it was a premature stoppage. Don't try to get back in there with Mike Tyson, any of those guys like that. It's just not right. It's just not it's not something he should be doing at his age. Like I said, he should be promoting. He should be training his son. His son should be the only one in the ring. He needs to be promoter to these Triller events, exhibition matches, but not fighting. He should not be fighting. He needs to make the money. Don't let the money make him. He don't need to be getting in there no more. That's it. Bottom line. That's why I respect fighters with a goal that know when they want to get out more than the career fighters, because the career fighters think that's all it's about, is getting beat up and showing this type of heart, but not having the money or the accomplishments to to back it up. You know, it's a sad thing. But yeah, I'm wishing Holyfield the best. You know, I wish Evander Holyfield the best. I don't want to see him fight anymore in any type of form or fashion, unless it's outside of the ring. That's when I want to see him around boxing. But yeah, man, let's jump to this next topic here. Next topic. All right, I know this was shocking to some of y'all. This was shocking to some of y'all, right? Jessica Andrade on OnlyFans. So Jessica Andrade, a few weeks ago, you know, she had done an interview and talked about some photos leaked from her OnlyFans. You know, some of the more provocative photos leaked off of her OnlyFans, right? You know, and you know, she basically went in and said, hey, she didn't mind because these photos, you know, everything she's been doing for her OnlyFans has really been helping her pull in more money to help her pay off her house or buy her house or, you know, pay for her car, what have you. You know, it's really been kind of a blessing to her, right? So I talked about this a little bit in the live stream the other day. You know, I kind of gave you my points. I just kind of want to come onto the show here and just kind of give you, you know, same points, but a little bit more in depth on why, you know, I don't mind it. But at the same time, I would like to see something better from a fighter like Jessica Andrade, where she doesn't have to feel like to make ends meet, she has to go this route. You know, maybe I'm thinking a little too deep. You disagree or not, but that's just how I'm thinking right now. Like, I think somebody like Jessica Andrade, she's kind of in a situation right now where she's, to me, like I said, to me, where the money's making her. Like, the money's kind of making her have to do these things, especially when you think of her as like one of the top level fighters out there, you know, top level athlete, you know, that's on a higher level than some of these other smaller fighters in the WMMA world who have OnlyFans. Like, never really thought Jessica Andrade would have to go that route, in my opinion, you know, especially like I said, with the big connections, you know, and big accomplishments. Never really thought she would have to go that route. But real quick, before I get into that, my thoughts, I wasn't that shocked when I knew she had OnlyFans. Like I said, a lot of women do it, you know, especially on the smaller circuit and just the women that need money. I know a lot of women on the smaller circuit around my way that do it, you know, and I'm not hating on them. Definitely not knocking them, especially in this time after the pandemic. You know, women got to take care of their kids. There's single women out there who can't get a job and they just need to do it. So like I said, I don't knock them for it. I don't. And you know, I wasn't really shocked because like I said, 15, 20 years ago, before Instagram and all of that, we used to have celebrities leak their sex tapes, you know, and that was kind of a shocker to us back in the day. It was like, oh snap, is that so and so? You know, we used to see those little clips, you know, off of you know, like Napster and things like that. They used to get leaked up there back then. So this ain't really too big a shocker. You know, it's just on a bigger platform now. It's like, cause you know, in this day and age, you know, we're in an age where, you know, sex is on tap like water. You know, it's at the fingertips of all ages, sadly. So, you know, you can see it anywhere. But the thing about it, the value of it never goes down. You know, never goes down. So, you know, anybody, athlete to, you know, singers, whoever, if they want to get on OnlyFans, you know, it's a big source of income for them. You know, it's almost a reliable source of income for them for now. You know, somebody like Jessica Andrade, you know, fighter who's probably thought I could get a second job, but you know, this money over here looks kind of tempting. You know, I see all these other ladies in the WMMA world doing this, doing that. I'm getting a lot of thirsty comments. She kind of put two and two together and said, hey, I might as well go this route too. You know, maybe I could get a second job like, you know, GDR. You know, she's a cop. Stipe Joe Smith Jr. in boxing, he's a construction worker. But I'd be dealing with some harsh working conditions and back-breaking labor. Why not go this route? You know, why not go this route? I can show a little bit of this, show a little bit of that, and then boom, go right back to training. You go right back to training without thinking of any career-ending injuries, you know? So, and then, woo, I see that money. Ooh, I might need to keep on doing this, right? So that's probably how Jessica Andrade was looking at it. And like I said, I can't knock her for that because I think for some fighters, like I said in the beginning of the show, you know, some fighters just aren't business savvy. They just aren't sharp like that where they can get into certain endeavors and push that type of brand for themselves. But I would like to see her do that. I really would, because somebody like Jessica Andrade, I think of her as different than like Paige Van Zant or Felice Herrig. I mean, you can get mad at my comments or not, but I'm just saying, like, somebody like Paige Van Zant, you know, in the fight world, she's already went on record to say, I make more money doing this website and doing sponsors, more money than I've ever made in the UFC. So somebody like her who enjoys being in front of the camera and has a look for it, and is a model, you kind of want to go that route because that's where your money's coming in, right? You tend to turn, you seem to turn that world into yours and made a brand out of it. So I can safely say Paige Van Zandt is making money. The money's not making her because she's making it work for her, right? Same with like Felice Hair. She knows that there's thirsty fans that like to see her OnlyFans for her fetish, and she's making it work for her. And that's what they do because they're on that level now. But I think Jessica Andrade, I've always kind of seen her as different because she's a better fighter. Let's be honest, she's a better fighter. She's levels above those fighters, and I thought somebody like her with big connections, big names around her, holding down the number one spot in the flyweight division, somebody like her should have somebody putting her into better endeavors. You know what I mean? Like opening a gym in Brazil, training, something that can make just as much money as OnlyFans, investments. She should be investing in something. Like she should be trying to getting a part of some of these underground MMA companies or something, some type of promotion where she doesn't have to take her clothes off for money, because it seems like I said, Jessica Andrade, a fighter who in the past had to auction off uniforms, and sell her off her uniforms, is once again in a position where she has to do things that she doesn't really want to do to make the money. Now, is she cool with it because the money's good? Yeah, sure. But I'm sure if she could find something else where she didn't have to take her clothes off, she probably would do that, right? Maybe. I'm just saying. That's just for me. That's how I am looking at it from the outside looking in. Somebody like Jessica Andrade. Like I said, this is kind of what I'm thinking. So it's just my opinion. Like, if she's feeling that need, like I have to take my clothes off because I'm not getting paid enough from my UFC career, then, maybe there's somewhere in there where the UFC needs to start paying these fighters more, or maybe, like I said, they just need to be linked up with somebody that's going to help them with their money and help them invest it in the right way. Because again, like I said, I brought this up the other night. Guys like Errol Spence Jr., they have good advisors, great advisors like Al Heyman in boxing. Because in the beginning, Errol Spence, who's 31 now, 32, he said he didn't really think about retirement. All he wanted was the money now. He wanted money up front. Now. Until his advisor in boxing, Al Heyman, told him that, look, no, this is what you do with your money. We're going to put this up so in so many years, you can walk away from the sport, retired, and do whatever you want. So I think that the UFC kind of needs the same thing. So fighters don't have to go that route if they don't want to. Like I said, if a fighter wants to go on and do OnlyFans, women or men, if y'all want to go on OnlyFans, that's fine. Only if you're doing it for the love of it, to continue to do it, fine. Fine. But yeah, my reaction though to the pictures, I was like, whoa, that's how it hit me though, because it wasn't what I saw. It was just different because, Andrade, she has more of the butch manner. You know what I mean? She doesn't really have that soft edge. She has more of a hard edge, but the presentation just got me because it was like, oh, you know what I mean? It just got me like, oh, because she's not really that sensual type. Maybe like if you caught her like 5-6 years ago, she would have brought it that way. But anyways. But yeah, guys, what did y'all think? What do y'all think of Jessica Andrade on her OnlyFans? Like I said, my final thoughts, is her, do her, but I just hope she can make money off of something else in the world of MMA and hopefully build her brand up to where the money can make itself. All right, so last topic. As y'all know, Jermaine Durandame versus Irene Aldana has been pushed off for a while. The fight's been postponed. Well, of course, it's canceled for right now because GDR, she had to pull out due to an undisclosed injury. And, that definitely put a damper on UFC 268 because we were all looking forward to that fight. That was a good matchup for Irene Aldana and for GDR. And it's a matchup, I've been thinking of, over the past couple of years just because, they're two great stand-up fighters. They have that long length, and I just wanted to see striker versus striker in there, But, yeah, GDR, she had to pull out due to an undisclosed injury. So that leaves Irene Aldana without a dance partner. So I think the UFC, they're trying to, well, sources say they're trying to find her a replacement fight. So the other day when I did a video, we were kind of talking about that situation, like what should she do? Should she should she sit back, wait for GDR to come in, or should she get a replacement? Should she let them get a replacement for her on the card? And the more and more I think about it, I think that right now Irene Aldana, she's kind of in a similar situation where Carla Esparza is. And with that being said, I think that she should really take the Carla Esparza approach here, because Irene Aldana, she's in a position where she has a good fight that's waiting for her, a good opportunity in Jermaine Duraname, who's #1 contender right now. So that fight holds a lot of weight, right? So if Irene Aldana was to put that, if she was to sacrifice that fight, and that opportunity by taking on another fill-in fight, she could be missing out on a big opportunity here, by taking on a lesser fight, so much like Carla Esparza, who just beat Yan Xiaonan for a possible title eliminator, which she didn't get. Zhang Weili is going to be taking on Rose now, right? Rose Namajunas is going to run it back with Zhang Weili. So in the meantime, Carla Esparza, she's left without that rematch, that title opportunity. So a lot of people are thinking, what should she do? Should she put that title opportunity in jeopardy by taking on Mackenzie Dern versus Rodriguez winner, or another name out there like Joanna, and same with her. I think that she should just sit out. I think she should sit out because she's done what she needed to do. She's on a 5-fight winning streak, and she has an opportunity sitting right there where whoever wins this fight, she's guaranteed a fight pretty much, right? I think that's basically how it's going to go from here. I know that Zhang Weili, that fight had to happen because of the money. They had to run that back for the money. But other than that, once this fight is done, I don't think there'll be a rubber match with Zhang and Rose yet. I think that Carla will be able to get that shot. So waiting for her is going to work out. And I think the same thing will happen for Irene Aldana. If she just waits it out and lets them reschedule the fight. Kind of like Roxy and Taylor Santos. Taylor kind of played her cards right by, having to pull out of the Mandy Bone fight and being rescheduled with Roxy after her knee surgery, right? So that makes sense. So same thing for Irene Aldana here, right? Don't lose the big fight with impatience. Don't feel like you need to go in there with a number 13 or number 10. Because I even thought about that. I was like, maybe she could fight Julia Avila or, fight Carol Rosa, somebody like. Well, Carol Rosa has Betch Coer, right? So no. I thought she could have done the same thing. Take on like a lesser fight and just to do it, just to fill in the, fulfill the contract or, fill in the card. But it's better that she wait because the opportunity is much bigger. See, I didn't see the light in the JoJo situation because I was just being a fan of JoJo and, being backing her for what she was going to do. Y'all know JoJo Calderwood. Instead of waiting for Valentina to recover from surgery, she took on Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia, y'all know she's a dangerous opponent, but JoJo just didn't have the drive in that fight and the skills to, get Jennifer Maia out of the way, then go back to sitting and wait. She lost that opportunity, got submitted by Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia took that title opportunity and boom, it was gone, right? So you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. Irene Aldana, this fight holds a lot of weight. GDR, if you go in there and beat her, you'll probably get the winner of Nunes Pena. It's pretty much guaranteed because Amanda Nunes ain't fighting GDR for a third time, And when you look at the rankings, everybody in the top 10 is pretty much taken. Everybody's pretty much taken. I mean, let's see. Macy Cheson's fighting Aspen Ladd, right? Ketlin Vieira is fighting Miesha Tate. That's 4 fighters right there. Yana Kunitskaya is out because of a pregnancy, but Irene Aldana already beat her, right? Holly Holm is moving up. Holly Holm is moving up to fight Norma Dumont at 145. Juliana Pena is taking to fight Nunes. And boom, GDR is the number 1. So you want to fight her, beat her, and you might get a title shot, right? Just might get that title shot. So that makes sense, right? I think that's a good option for Irene Aldana to just sit out and wait, So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got on this episode. like I said, I just kind of wanted to talk about the theme of making this money and not letting the money make you. These fighters out here that they got to do better. I mean, for Holyfield, Evander Holyfield, he just needs to stay away from the inside of the ring, work the outside. I just want to see him, be able to grow old with his kids. Watch his son box. Just motivate from the outside of the ring now. But yeah, as far as Jessica Andrade, like I said, I'm not hating on her doing OnlyFans, not at all. Not at all. If that's what she really wants to do and it's making money for her, fine. I just hope that she can do something in the MMA world that can make just as much money. If she doesn't really want to do this, I hope that somehow renegotiations or something clicks with her where she can make money doing something else. Now I know the UFC doesn't really let them get other sponsors, but you know renegotiate them contracts, get some more money, make sure they're paying you right, so you don't have to resort to other things like even selling your uniforms again, to make house payments and so on, right? And Irene Aldana, yeah, just sit back, patiently wait. GDR, when she recovers, that fight will be there for you, right? So yeah, guys, I'll be back later on this week with some live stream shows. Got another podcast episode. Got to do Flyweight Madness, UFC 266. We got 4 big fights going down. Manon Field versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Roxanne versus Taylor Santos. That's 2 of the triple threat right there. Cynthia Calvillo getting her wish to fight Jessica Andrade. And the title fight, 6th title defense for Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. It's going down, so I'm doing a show dedicated to all 4 fights. Going to drop my breakdown prediction, keys to victory, all of that. All of that for that show. So yeah, tune in to episode 70. Guys, like I said, make sure y'all subscribe to this show here on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. Go to CB99 Talks. That's where you can hear it as well. Subscribe to the show on Combo Breaker 99, my YouTube channel. And yeah, guys, that's all I got for y'all in this episode. Make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.